All right. Well, welcome to the call. We've got Jeremiah on here and we're going to kind of brainstorm about some ideas on how to get summer parties booked, both live and virtual. Traditionally, summer takes a little bit more work to get parties, so it's not unusual to have to spend a little more time on the booking side. But there is no reason not to have a rockin' June, July, and August. And I highly recommend that you work a little extra to get those booked so that you're ready and you've got parties going headed into fall. That puts you way ahead of the curve for the fall selling season. And that is definitely going to be awesome as usual. That's our top selling season. So everything you do now sets you up for that in the fall. So I will start off with a few things that I've done that are working so far. Full disclosure, my calendar is not full for June either. And so I'm still working and on the phone and messaging people as well, trying to get my June where I want it. That's just the way it goes. I had a great May, but my Mays were fundraisers. And for some reason on those fundraisers, they were supporting the fundraiser, but not wanting to book, so I'm still working it. The first and most important thing to do is to use what Pampered Chef gives us. The double free host product, when they get to $650, is your best friend. It is one of the hottest times to have a party. Pampered Chef strategically places that in the months that are more difficult for us to book, because that sometimes will be the reason why someone will book June. So advertise the heck out of that. Plus, they've also added the Rock Crock is the 60% off, and that's the 60% off in June is the same whether it's a $200 party or not. I mean, it doesn't change. The addition is once they get to $650 is when they get the double free. So that helps you because now you're working with your host to get to that $650. They're incentivized to get $650 in sales no matter how they can do it. So that's why they do that. Double free is an amazing offer. A $650 party is something like $230 free product because of the double free, somewhere around there. So that's fantastic. We, of course, want to book the heck out of June and July because we're getting the free-for-all. So I first want to make sure everybody, Jeremiah, you saw the postings and what we're doing for June and July, that yes. You want to at least get to $1,500 in sales. I have no idea what the products are, but the way it was explained to me is that you'll be kicking yourself if you don't get there. Yep. It is going to be something that everybody's kitchen needs, and it's going to be on the front cover, and you're going to want it, and it's worth $200 and something, that one piece. So you want it, you want to work for it, and you want to get that. And then, of course, we do free-for-all in July. Now, they have up to 6,000 in June and July, and they're separate. So even though you get to 6,000 in June, you'll still want to, you will still want to also earn in July because you won't max out just because you did it in June, if that makes sense. They're products that at each marker in June and each marker in July, it's different products. So some people get confused by that, thinking they're the same, and they're not. So what you're earning in June is totally different than what you're earning in July. The Sparling team, which is our entire organization, has sweetened the pot because there's also the huge recruiting buzz. And the home office is going with the whole baseball theme. A single is 1 recruit, a double is 2 recruits, a triple is 3 recruits, and a home run is 4 recruits. So you get 100 Pampered Chef dollars for every recruit. If you hit a home run or a grand slam, then that is 500 PC dollars for those 4 recruits. For the Sparling team, we're saying book 4 parties. If you hold 4 parties or sell $1,500 and you get those 4 recruits, we will ship you a prize box from conference, or we will buy one and have it shipped if you're there. So the prize boxes are really awesome, and they have all kinds of goodies from the home office in them. So that's really, everybody should have that goal. So that's why we're on tonight, is to get some bookings so that you guys can get, because you can't get recruits and you can't get sales if you don't have bookings. But I wanted to make that clear so everybody understood how that was working. So if you're advertising the free for all, the double free, then you need to look for avenues. One big thing that we talk about, and this is one of the methods we use for brand new consultants and on, is Frank's List. And that Frank's is an acronym. Friends, relatives, associates, or acquaintances. Hang on. Paxton, stop. Close the window so he doesn't see something to bark at. N is for neighbors. K is for kids, and whether you have kids at home or four-legged kids. I mean, that would be like the vet or people at the dog park or, whatever. So people you associate with from your kids of all kinds. And S would be spouse or significant other. Hang on. Okay. I had the front door open and he was seeing things out front too. Okay. So that's Frank. Stop it, Paxton. If you think of 5 people on each of those categories that you can call to book a party, that's 25 people. That's a little memory jog to think of, if you could think of 5 people under each of those categories. Sometimes it'll make you think of things, somebody that you really hadn't thought about before. So if you just sit down and come up with at least 5 under each one of those, and you could even double up. So spouses, family, or friends, kids. So you could go lower, right? So there's just different, you could double up and really go deeper and get even more than 25 from that. The other one is vendor events or farmers markets. You might look around and see farmers markets are kind of funny. You have to check, and sometimes vendor events are too. Some of them require to be homemade products. So double check before you go do them. But usually you can get a lot of bang for your buck. I wouldn't spend more than $30 or so on a booth. But if you get a booth for $30 and you could spend 3 to 4 hours there, that's some really fresh leads that you're going to be getting through there. We do a farmer's market up here. We kind of rotate it, and I've got 3 leads from that on Saturday. 1 is a home party and 2 are virtual. So I'm trying to reconnect with them because they wouldn't commit there at the party, but that's a really great way to get some brand new connections. Another way is to go back and see, how many virtuals have you done, Jeremiah? You said.
I'm doing my second one.
Okay. On those virtual parties, are you reaching out to every single person that is participating in the party?
Yes.
Okay. You can ask them about joining the business, and I would recommend that first. Say, hey, oh my gosh, you're a rock star. You'd be amazing at this. Have you ever thought about giving it a try? If they say no, then you say, well, what about if you do a party? And sometimes people don't like to tell you no twice. So they're more likely to say yes to having a party. Then if they have a party, you got a chance to come back at them and say, oh my gosh, you were just a great host. Are you sure you don't want to do this? So that really helps a lot. So make sure you're messaging. You don't necessarily have to friend them, but messaging every single person that's doing something. If they've ordered something, personally thank them with a message. I know I was talking to Elena, one of our consultant directors here, and she said that when she has their phone number and other information because they've ordered, she started texting because not everybody's seeing the messages, but everybody's on their phone. So now she's doing it via text and saying the same kind of thing. Oh my gosh. And you don't always have to lead off with, do you want to book a party? You could say, hey, I noticed you commented on this. Do you need recipes for that? Because they said they have the Decovered Baker. I know I put a bunch of recipe books on the Team Sizzle page, and they have Decovered Baker, Rock Crock. I think sometimes you can get an in with offering them something and then come back and ask them hosting or joining your team. Trying to think of some other things. I always have my bag that has the catalog in the front. But you can also accomplish this by just carrying minis around with you. And when you are at the store, or like yesterday I was at the dentist with my kids, and I think I booked a party. Fortunately, she wanted to talk to somebody about it, and I have my dentist appointment tomorrow. So I'm going to follow up with a packet and say, let's do this next week. And she is so excited. And it was simply because she had borrowed her mother-in-law's stainless steel bowls. She wanted bowls. I'm not going to just sell her bowls. She's going to do a party, and then she can get them for free. So, but another way you can do this is have you seen the minis? Have you ordered any of those minis?
Yep, I have some minis.
Okay, so if you get the minis and put like a Post-it note on them, and when you're out and about, just kind of say, hey, it's my job to hand these out to 10 people every day. And I just wanted to share with you the new products of Pampered Chef. And then you'll usually get oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef. And you say, oh, great. Did you know June is double free products? Have you ever considered hosting? And then you're probably going to get, I'm so busy. And you say, but I do even do online parties. Because this summer, I'm going to tell you, as much fun as the live parties are, and I would still work on getting them for sure, don't give up on the virtual parties, because they're going to be your best friend in the summer when everybody's busy. Or all my friends are on vacation. Well, even on vacation, they can participate in a virtual party. Because who's not on Facebook, especially on vacation? Posting all pictures of what they're doing and everything else. So I think I would take advantage of that. But if you can carry some of those minis with you with the Post-it notes on it, then you can hand those out, and potentially the Post-it note is for them to write down their contact information so you can follow up. Because you hand out a mini without contact information, it's gone. But if you have that contact information, you can say, hey, can I follow up with you tomorrow or whatever, don't do it sooner rather than later, about possibly hosting a virtual party. So those are some of the ones off the top of my head. Jeremiah, have you done anything? How have you gotten the parties you have gotten?
I mean, they've basically been through family or like friends of family. The first live party I had, my mother's friend who owns a bar decided she wanted to have it at the bar, so we cooked and just had the party right at the bar, and people were kind of coming up and checking it out as they were drinking, and that was the $1,100 party that I had, my very first party.
Awesome.
Last Friday we decided, because Diana is my mother-in-law, we've kind of got a huge overlap on who's getting talked to for Pampered Chef. So my wife had said, why don't we have an open house at our house, post it to everybody, all of our friends on Facebook, and have them just come over, and we put out all of our Pampered Chef stuff, and I basically made like a 5-course meal and let people just eat and ask questions. And the party qualified just from the couple people that showed up and was asking questions. I had a couple people that didn't show up but requested catalogs, so but we figured that was a good way for people to come check it out, no obligation to buy, and hopefully if they saw the stuff and liked it, then they would buy.
Good. Two ideas that came up from where you started. One is on the ones that couldn't make it to your open house that would like catalogs, I would approach them about hosting and say, hey, let's bring the party to you. You couldn't make it, you couldn't see the products, but I'll bring it to you. Let's do a party.
Okay.
And see if you could pursue that direction. The other one is on that big one that you had that was at the bar. Everyone now should have their products, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go back and call all of them and say, hey, this is Jeremiah. I just want to check and make sure that you've gotten all your products, that you've taken them out of the box and you've tried them. See if you have any questions about them. And then kind of go down that conversation path and then say, hey, I just want to let you know that June is double free product for our hosts. And I didn't know if maybe there were some things that you wished you could, that were on your wish list that you couldn't afford, and that maybe June would be a good month to do that. You have that pool of people for that awesome party. I'm guessing you had, 15 or so orders on there?
I think, yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, so that's 15 people you can call, and you can call for a reason. Hey, Laura, we don't see you. Your video's off, and you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, hi. I don't know why I don't
you.
have a video. Okay, hold on. Oh,
there you go.
hi.
Laura, Jeremiah, Laura.
Hi, Jeremiah.
But that's 15 new people you could go talk to. And the whole reason you're calling them is to make sure that they're happy with their products. That's customer service.
Okay.
So that gives you a reason to go back to them. And anybody else that's bought from you that has their product, go back and say, it's called the out of the box phone call. And because nothing makes a Pampered Chef consultant sadder than a product that's sitting gathering dust. We want them to use it. They bought it. And sometimes they don't use it because they're afraid to, or don't know how it works, or don't have a recipe for it. So that gives you a reason to get out and call them. And odds are at least one or two of those will book a party as well, because they'll love what they got.
Okay.
So Laura, we were just going over, I went through the normal stuff on the Frank's list, build the Frank's list, go from there. Jeremiah is fairly new. He's on Diana's team.
Awesome.
He's actually Diana's son-in-law. So
okay.
Diana
live up north?
Conference last year.
Ah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's just getting started. He's rocking it, man. He's doing awesome. But now he's hitting the summer slump like the rest of us. So we were going back over where can he go from where he was. Go back and talk to the other people. But Laura, you know the Frank's list, right? You and I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And that's always a place to go to redo it. For someone like you who's been
over.
Yeah, but doing it for a while, there's probably people on there that we say that they're on your chicken list. People that you've been afraid to call.
Yeah.
So those are good ones to go back to as well. I told Jeremiah about, I was at the farmer's market, so that's always an option. And I got 3 leads on Saturday.
You did?
Yeah, so
wow.
If I can just get a hold of the people, we'll be doing good. So Jeremiah, while we were talking, and then Laura, you chime in too. What other ideas do y'all have on getting bookings?
Did you go over the green dot stuff?
Have not done green dot yet.
Okay. Which I guess sort of still goes back to the Frank's list.
Sort of, but it's easier to jog. Do you know what green dots are on Facebook, Jeremiah?
No.
So when you're on Facebook and you look at the chat session on the right-hand side,
oh, okay.
Green dots next to the people who are currently on their messenger. They're sitting ducks. So you message them. And because they're there, you know that they're going to get the message because they're already on. And so it's called green dotting. And so you message them and say, hey, I've been meaning to ask you. I know, just want to let you know Pampered Chef has got double free product in June, and go from there. Another thing that I'm going to do is I offer, especially during the summertime, kids cooking classes. And I don't know what your pool is like of people up there, but that's everyone from like 3 to 4-year-olds to middle school age, even some young high school kids, or college-bound kids who need to know how to cook in the microwave in college. And if you want to book these, I can help you with some recipes on what to do. But if you're comfortable with doing something like that, sometimes it's good they pre-order. So it's a party automatically because you get enough people and they pre-order $30 or $40 worth of product because you can't charge them really. It's kind of against our policy, but you can charge them for the product. And sometimes I up it a little bit to help pay for the food that I'm buying. But say you do the pizza one. Well, have them get the pizza stone, the small one, the individual pizza stone, and maybe the pizza cutter or the egg slicer, so they can do the mushrooms or, something. Put a couple things together that comes up to the right dollar amount, and they pre-order it. You put that order in, you've already got a party, woohoo, before they even get there. But then with their moms there learning stuff, sometimes they'll order or book a party.
Okay.
So that's another way to get new people. And Laura, you might have some of that, since you're trying to kind of jumpstart again after taking a little break.
Mm-hmm.
You might have fun with some of his friends and stuff coming over and doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
And that might get some of the moms back. I mean, moms are looking for stuff to do over the summer with their kids.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing it on Saturday because you work during the week, the kids are bored.
Right.
Plus now we've got the ice cream maker, we've got the popsicle maker.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get a few products to help make popsicles, and then you just have, if you have the popsicle maker, or if Diana, like Jeremiah, if Diana's got it, you can borrow it, or whatever. But because you can make 9 popsicles in one, 3 at a time, but you can make them before you have to refreeze it.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. The ice cream's kind of cool. Just kind of brainstorm on that. And like I said, I'm happy to send you some recipes on stuff I've done, but I plan on doing like several of those this summer to get people in if I can do that. And I've had 2 requests for freezer meal workshops. And again, people are busy. It's hot. They don't want to heat up their kitchen. So everybody gets, have you heard of the freezer meal workshops, Jeremiah?
I saw something on one of the groups, but that was about it.
Okay. So there is a Facebook group that has recipes, and then Pampered Chef has some recipes. And you're welcome to use either ones, and I can help you find them. I like the ones that are outside of Pampered Chef. There's 10 meals. They buy spices from you, so again, it's a pre-order. So it's a party before you even start. The spices are usually around $60, give or take a little bit. They have some left over to repeat the recipes. And then they come to your house or wherever the host, sometimes I have other people host them, and they get the host benefits from it. You send them a grocery list. The groceries average about $140, so it's about $200 investment. They walk out of there with 10 meals for their freezer that feeds 4 to 6 people. Nice. And they're all crock-potable. There's one that's a half grill, half crock-pot type thing, but they're crock-pot type meals, so people don't have to heat up their kitchen in the summer. That's another way. Sometimes people will do that where they won't do a traditional party.
Okay.
That also works great if there's a church or something where they have a care ministry where they take meals to people. Sometimes you can work it where you meet at the church building and use the kitchen at the church building, and you get 10 people to do it, and they each donate one of their meals to that family. They go home with 9, and they give 1. And then you've got 10 for the family.
Okay.
So
who buys the groceries? The people coming?
Yes.
They buy their own groceries?
Yes.
Okay.
And the way I explain it is you get to buy whatever you want. If you want all organic, if you want grass-fed, if you don't care, if you want what's on sale, it's completely up to you. You shop like you normally do. If your family is not going to eat celery, then don't buy the celery and put it in. It's completely customizable, which is kind of fun.
Do you have any of those scheduled yet?
She wanted to do it in July, so I got to get back with her on the date on that. But I think I'm going to try and do one myself. I've just got to, kids got out of school, and I think I'm running more busy the last couple of days than I was when we're in school.
Oh, gosh.
But I've got to get that. I would like to schedule one. Not sure when I'm going to do it. I might do a daytime one while my husband's at work. The kids don't care.
You have a visitor.
He's my dog.
I'm looking for one of the boys to walk through the door.
No, Blake's at choir practice and Grant's on the computer, so we won't do that. It's Paxton. He doesn't like to be away from me. So Michael keeps closing the door because I'm noisy. You're stuck in here now, dog. But yeah, I was going to try to do a daytime one, I think, because it's hard to do it in the evening if everybody's here. But I might do an evening one when Michael goes to Vermont, because he's going to go to Vermont 1 week a month, and then it won't disrupt the family in the evenings. So I'll let you know when I do that.
Yeah, let me know. I just want to see one. I've heard so much about them, but I've never seen one.
They're more overwhelming to think about than in actuality. They're really pretty people.
I kind of figured it probably was, because there's probably less kind of posting you have to do, you know, because y'all are all busy.
Yes, everybody, and it's all assembly. It's not cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're using your knives and your measuring spoons and that kind of thing, and they're putting it all in Ziploc bags. We got a lot of cool tools to use, and that's where they use. And a lot of times, look at sales, a second thing of sales, or people will book parties off of that. But it's not any cooking, and you just set up stations, and people are just working. I try to get them to have their meat prepped ahead of time. There's a list usually on them that says meat prep, and have them that bagged up ahead of time. That saves quite a bit of time and yuckiness.
Yeah.
But then they can just assemble it. They just throw everything in the bag and they put stickers on it and they go on.
What kind of recipes are they?
There's all kinds. Like in the wintertime, it's the soups and stews that I love to do. But we have a paleo menu. There's a gluten-free, dairy-free menu. But then there's the standard ones that's got pesto chicken and pesto shrimp with, oh gosh, there's a La Ropa something, and there's Mongolian beef, and I mean, it's like people love it because they get to try recipes they normally wouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
And I would say 90% of them are fantastic. A few of them are kind of flops, but for the most part, they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love the one that's got the pesto in it. You make homemade pesto with the manual food processor, and it makes 2 of the meals are pesto. One's got tortellini and one's shrimp, but you can substitute chicken if you're not a shrimp person. They can choose.
Dump it all in a bag and then put it in a crock pot when you're ready to make it?
You can put it in the crock pot frozen.
Sweet.
You put it in the crock pot frozen before you leave for work in the morning, and it kind of thaws and then cooks, and when you walk in the door, it's done. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to see one of these.
So that's some of my ideas. Anything else y'all have come up with while we're kind of talking?
I've been getting copied on emails. Jeremiah probably doesn't have this happening yet, but when a host hits their 1 year from their party, or how do I say that? When they've hit 1 year after hosting their party, Pampered Chef sends an email to remind them that they're about to lose their hostess 10% special or discount that they get all year long. And they copy us. So then, you know, we can reach back out to that previous host and say, hey, you're about to lose your 10% discount. You want to host another party?
Yes.
I've gotten a few of those lately that I need to follow up on.
Yeah.
A lot of coworkers, so I can be like, hey.
Yeah, hey, it's been a year. Let's do it again. There's new products. Yes. The new summer products are awesome to sell too. Y'all, I went live yesterday. I made breakfast for lunch. That sandwich maker is cool.
Is it?
I was surprised because I thought the bread would kind of get chewy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was good.
Huh.
That's kind of a
besides an English muffin in there.
You could do an English muffin. You could do a bagel, smaller bagel maybe, but a bagel, just not like a giant bagel.
Yeah.
You can buy the little street taco tortillas.
Oh, okay.
And what you do with that is you put the meat in your egg and you just stir it more frequently rather than making it where it's a round omelet type. You would just every 30 seconds stir it so it's chunked up like a taco. You can do a regular tortilla and just fold it in fourths. You fold it and then fold it again. And the flour tortilla in that kind of rounded triangle shape will fit in the lid. What else have I seen? If you're doing Keto's like the big thing, no carb, whichever the no carb flavor of the month is.
Whatever.
Seems like there was Atkins back in the day, and then there's
now it's all keto,
right? Instead of putting bread in there, you can put an egg in that middle one where you normally put the meat.
Mm-hmm.
You have an egg in the ceramic and an egg in the middle one, and then I guess you put the meat on the top, and then you use the 2 pieces of egg as your sandwich holder instead of bread. And I know Elena did a video on it, and it's probably out somewhere else. I need to go back and find Elena's video on it, but that's a way if people are trying to get out of the carbs, they can use the eggs as their little cold thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to try the street taco kind of thing because, breakfast tacos are great.
Yeah.
Still 2 minutes because you're just stirring it up in there. You can also make oatmeal in it and all the other stuff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I want to get one of those homemade granola bar silicone trays.
Yes. I've got it. I want to make the recipes for it.
Okay. Because it was out like as a consultant gift first, right? And now it's just.
Yeah, that was we could earn those 2 products. Did you get them, Jeremiah?
I did not.
Okay, I can't remember which month. I'm running together. You got last month though the water bottle, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember when you started and when these promotions were, but so I think it must have been April's promotions.
Oh, okay.
The 2 things. So if you sold $1,000, you got those 2 products. Mm-hmm. But they're mid-season summer release products.
Okay, so now you can just buy them.
Now you can just buy them.
Okay.
And there are flyers on Consultant's Corner if you want flyers. Or I'm sure you can print them off.
Okay.
So even people who have seen the new summer products, which haven't been out that long, there's those, it kind of builds excitement too. And again, people are always trying to get breakfast for the kids, breakfast for the family, and it's fast. I mean, it literally it's a minute, and then you take it out and you add the bread, and it's another 30 seconds. Then you let it sit there for a minute, and it's done.
I know we don't have the breakfast sandwich maker, but we have the ceramic egg cooker. Mm-hmm. And for the open house, my wife actually inadvertently sold a breakfast sandwich maker to her friend by showing her the ceramic egg cooker because my wife loves the ceramic egg cooker.
Yeah.
So they ended up buying one of the sandwich makers because we had the ceramic egg cooker.
Yes, and they're very similar. So it would actually be a great demo of, is the egg really going to be good? Because it's the same principle for making the eggs. And I like the ceramic egg cooker too. It makes a great omelet. Mm-hmm. For sure. Any other ideas? Jeremiah, do you feel like you have some stuff to go back with and like
I do.
Helpful?
Yeah, I do. This has definitely been very helpful. I actually just posted a thing on Facebook and in the open house event that we did, a posting saying, I'm offering like a free gift for the first 3 people that book a party with me.
Great idea. I love that.
So I'm doing that, trying to get somebody to bite on that, but definitely just from what we've talked about, that's stuff that I can definitely use. Good.
I do like that idea of free gift. That's something else that you could try, Laura, even if it's, hey, I will give you, because you added onto the host's order, which gives them it's on a discount. I'll give you the breakfast bar thing, I don't even know what to call it. I know it's got a real name.
I don't know what it's called either.
But, you could offer something like that. I'll give you one of the brand new summer products if you'll book a party in June, plus you're getting double free. That's great, Jeremiah. And, don't be afraid to reach out because, posting on the Facebook party is great, but it's somewhat passive. Mm-hmm. So A lot of times people won't respond, but if you reach out to them, they will.
Okay.
So personal texting, if you've got phone numbers, I would move the texting over messaging.
Okay.
So if they've purchased before, you know, of course, phone calls are always better, at least to start. Now, if you call and no one answers, leave a message and then follow it immediately with a text. Because there will be people who will not answer their phone, but they'll respond to the text.
Okay.
Yeah.
So always when I call, I go ahead and leave a message, but then I text them, hey, this is Carolyn with Pampered Chef. I just left you a message. I was calling to whatever, just brief and to the point. And sometimes they'll respond right, like they were sitting on their phone. They just didn't answer my phone call. It's like, okay. It's the new way of screening calls. So awesome. Well, reach out to me anytime, Jeremiah. Laura, you know how to get a hold of me too.
Okay.
Book the heck out of June and July. Laura, I was telling Jeremiah, do whatever it takes to get to $1,500 this month.
Okay.
Because this free for all, apparently the only ones that know about the new products are the nationals. And they said that this is the most, what's the right word? It's the biggest game changer since the deep covered baker.
This is the like new fall stuff they're talking about? Okay.
Yes. So the product that you will earn that's worth $230, something like that, if you get to $1,500, is the biggest game changer since the deep covered baker.
Wow. And it's one item?
One item. Now you'll get it there. They've got a bonus in June. They've got a bonus level at 500. And then they've got the 750 like they always have. And then they got 1,500. So you'll get something at a $20 value at 500. Another $30 value at 750. And then at 1,500 is the sweet spot, to use their baseball lingo. $1,500 is the sweet spot because you get the product that's going to be on the cover of the catalog that is a game changer. Now, Jeremiah, just for some background, the deep cover baker has been around quite a while. It's stoneware, but what Cindy was, because that's before I started, I've been doing this 7 years. The thing that the deep cover baker did is it opened up people's eyes to stoneware going in the microwave. No one had thought about putting stoneware in the microwave before. And so when they say a game changer as big, or, you know, the biggest game changer since the deep cover baker, that was pretty huge to move to the microwave.
What in the world could
Yeah, and every kitchen needs one of these. So we're going to want it, and our customers are going to want it. So it would be much better to get it free. So
interesting.
I would do whatever it takes to get to 1,500 because nothing feels worse than being on the other end going, man, I wish I got that. And then July is again 750, 1,500, 3,000, and 6,000 for the other products. Jeremiah, are you thinking about going to conference?
Yeah, I was going to use my $100 Pampered Chef dollars, and then I used that to get some new supplies. So now I just got to make $100 so I can do it.
Okay, very good, awesome. We'll register, and we know we're holding several rooms. So I know Diana's struggling with how to get there because she's got that silly mandatory meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got to walk, doesn't she?
No.
She's Minnesota.
She's what? No, I mean walk the stage.
Oh.
Yeah, no. She didn't meet her numbers this month, so she's
dang it. Okay.
Got to restart. But her work has a mandatory meeting in Denver that week.
That same weekend. Oh.
And I think it's done. I think Thursday's when it's over. So she's trying to figure out how to make it work, but it's mandatory training. So she's really kind of stuck. She's not out, but she's having to figure out how to make it happen. But Jeremiah, we would love for you to come. Laura was first time last year. Laura, can you tell Jeremiah what it was like to go?
I've got to try to figure out if I can make it work this year, because I'm going to Florida the week before because my mom retired this year and the whole family is going to Sarasota. And so I'm taking a week off work, and I don't know if then I can come back and then leave for 2 more days.
Why not?
And the money and the flights and all that kind of stuff. So, But conference is amazing. It's so much fun. I met so many people. I went there. I think I only knew you, Carolyn, and maybe like, well, Cindy, like just, a few people from our team. And I wasn't rooming with anybody that I knew, but, oh, hi, Zach. And you say hi?
I think we put you in with Denisha, right?
I was with Denisha and Jennifer Marlowe. I think it was just the three of us in the room.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So made friends with Lisa, who's on Crystal's team.
Yes.
And it was just so fun. I don't know. I mean, just everybody walking the street together. Of course, it won't be like that this year, right? Because we're not going to the Rosemont.
We don't have to go to the Rosemont Theater this time. Thank goodness.
It was like when we would go to general sessions, the streets were just lined with Pampered Chef consultants. It was crazy. And going to that theater, I can't imagine how they're going to do it this year and not be in that theater, because it was like the most pumped up, it was like being at a concert. Every time we had a general session, there was music, there was a DJ, everybody was dancing.
So that DJ is back. They hired the same DJ.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he was asked for by name.
Yeah.
They're doing him all in a big room at the conference center.
Okay.
Because the problem with the Rosemont Theater was there was only so many seats.
And they're going to have more opportunities?
Yes. Now there's no limit on how many consultants can come to conference.
Okay.
Because they can put in, they can get, because the way that conference center works is those accordion walls. So they can open up the walls, and it's an unlimited number of consultants available, however many chairs they need to put in for general conference. I don't know. They figured it out somehow. But that DJ is back, same exact DJ. There'll be Jeremiah. They always announce fall products at conference.
And give stuff away all the time.
Yes, you give stuff away, and you will get to go home with stuff because you get some of the new fall products to go home with.
Okay.
And this year I noticed, I don't know if y'all have seen, we had our Recognize and Energize last night on Facebook. And if you haven't been on there, get on there. But we did a top 10. They're going to announce the 2020 trip there. So the trip for the next one is going to be announced at conference. So, this year we're all already in Hawaii, but the one for 2020, which I guess is next year. I don't know. I don't know what 2020, I don't know.
Year after.
They're talking about the trip, and there's just going to be some amazing stuff. So absolutely, Jeremiah, do what it takes to get there. It lit a fire underneath Diana. It lit a fire underneath Laura. It's the biggest motivator out there. Not to mention, especially for you guys who are up north and don't get to see us, it's a way for you to connect. So you get to know me. You'll get to know Cindy, who's my upline, Crystal, like she said, who's another assistant director. There's so many of us, and we're changing some things. We've grown so much. It's gotten hard to do the way we always did it, which was get together with our upline above that, which is in Atlanta. So we have a suite, and the big suite is available to us for lunch on Thursday. So just the Sparling team, which is a smaller group than the McDonald team, is going to get to have lunch together and have team time together. So you'll get to meet everyone in the Sparling organization. So when you see names flying around, now they kind of make sense. And you get to put names and faces. And then, of course, Wednesday, if you can get in on Wednesday, around 1 or 2 o'clock, we're going to get on a bus. I think Cindy said if we don't earn $1,000, it'll be about $60 or so per person. But it's a bus ride to town, to the city of Chicago, which, I don't know, Jeremiah, you live up there. It may not be a big deal to go to Chicago, but for us, it's a really big deal. But it's a tour bus with a tour guide on it. We think it's BYOB. There'll be a couple stops to get off, and then we're going to stop and have dinner at Rinaldo's, whatever, the place to get pizza in Chicago.
I was going to say the pizza place.
Yes. So, and that's all included in the price, all of it, the bus and the food. So not required, fun time though. So that's another thing that we're doing. So it's really bonding time.
Okay.
So Laura, you got to figure out how to make it happen. Prep your boss now.
Quit my job.
Yeah. So, and I would say you could be our designated driver, but we never need a driver.
I know. I'm having a baby, Jeremiah, so I won't be a BYO being.
No wine for Laura this time.
No. Cocktails for me.
So, but anyway, we'll wrap it up. But any more questions? Anything else? I hope this was time well spent. I know summer can be a struggle, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm right there with you, making the calls, and I'm gonna make this June awesome. I'm just gonna do it. I know you can do it.
We can do it.
Yep. So let me know if I can help. Reach out to me anytime, and make it happen.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Carolyn.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, Jeremiah.
Nice to meet you.
It was great to see you. I've only heard about you.
All right. See you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.